Hey guys, so I was going to do a Q&A today, but then one person asked me a question, so that'd be a super short video. And since I have COVID, I figured why not keep the negative energy going and just make a video about things I hate. And before I start this, it's going to be like, oh my god, every time I shake my phone or like move my phone, I get a pop-up to undo the typing. It's like, don't do that. What was I going to say? Oh, I remember what I was going to say. These are just like silly little things, like pet peeves, you know, like obviously there are more important things I hate, like people who are mean, and racism and homophobia and misogyny and stuff like that. But this is a fun video. This is supposed to be fun. But it's also things that I like legitimately hate. Like I don't like these things. So the first thing on my list is when people make Eiffel Tower jokes. I'm not going to explain what Eiffel Towering means. If you want to understand this part of the video, look up Eiffel Tower on Urban Dictionary. Do that at your own risk. It just makes me uncomfortable. I'm fine with a lot of not safe for work jokes. I'm fine with a lot of sex jokes. But for some reason the Eiffel Tower ones are like, oh, I want to go to Paris. Like, cause that's where the Eiffel Tower is. Those jokes just make me uncomfortable. This one's kind of serious. And this is directly about I don't know if they'd consider me one of their friends, but they're one of my Twitter mutuals. This is like kind of very directly about them. When people say something mean about one of my favorite singers and one of my favorite bands, especially when I'm literally talking about how much I like them, I guess I will tell this story. I was in a Twitter space. We were kind of talking about Josh Doty from Cemetery Sun, and they met Cemetery Sun, and they were like, Tiffany, I don't understand why you're scared of Josh. Like, he's like such a sweetheart. Like, he's so nice. I'm not really scared of him, but I was doing a vocal lesson with him. It was not only was it like my first vocal lesson with him, but it was my first ever vocal lesson literally ever. And I love his voice so much, you know, and I think he's a really good vocalist, and he's one of my favorite singers right now. And doing a vocal lesson with him, it was intimidating. And they proceed to say, like, oh, he's like a good vocalist, but like in the grand scheme of things, he's really not. And it's like, that just seemed very unnecessary to me, you know? Sorry if this person sees this video. I know Skylar's gonna see this video, and she is friends with them. If you're subscribed to me, you know I like to sing, and sometimes I'll just like record like little mini covers on my phone where I pull up the instrument on my computer, prop up my phone, and I just, you know, record with the camera or with like the Twitter voice tweet thing. When I sing and the entire house goes quiet, like I can't hear my brother watching a video, I can't even hear the TV going, my parents don't say anything, that scares me. Like, just keep doing your thing while I'm doing my thing. On top of that, the other day I was challenging myself to see which of my 2 America's Got Talent audition songs I could go longer with without messing up, because I know I said this in my last video, but my vocal coach said do whichever song's easier for you. And I thought, well, if a song's easier for me while I have COVID, it's gonna be easier for me while I don't have COVID, right? So I wanted to see like how much longer I could get in each song without messing up. So I did that a couple times, and my parents noticed, and they're like,
so you're well enough to sing. Like, you're good enough to sing. I can't believe that.
and it's like, why are you bringing that up? Please do not talk to me about that. If I wanted you to hear me sing, I would sing in front of you. Don't mind me just lying to state champs in their text messages. They just texted me, Albany area fam, you coming to the Frozen Fest? I can't say that I want to go because I only really know the words to like 1 or 2 state champ songs. So I don't know if I'd have a good time. But I said to them I'm an hour from Albany and I can't go, which isn't completely false. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, this happens a lot on Stan Twitters, and what I've seen it happening a lot with is the Taylor Swift fandom and Adele fans. They argue about who's better. And it's like, who cares? Listen to the one that you want to listen to. Just because somebody else thinks Taylor Swift is better than Adele in their opinion, like, that doesn't mean that you can't listen to Adele. Just listen to Adele. I hate when people are like, oh, well, your fave flopped. Don't use your fave sucks. Like, why does it matter? Just listen to the one that you like and tweet good things about the one that you like. And on top of that is when people use their faves chart data to compare, like saying, oh, well, Taylor Swift sold more records than Adele. So, like, because I feel like, honestly, in today's day and age with streaming, it really doesn't matter. Like, I feel like, I don't know, the importance of like charts and selling things, like, I feel like it doesn't matter that much in today's day and age with streaming and stuff, because like the ability to access music is like so much different now than it was before. So I feel like comparing somebody to an artist that you don't like because of their chart data is stupid. Just listen to what you want to listen to and leave it at that, you know? Okay, so this might just be because I have a habit of like DMing my faves on Instagram or like tagging them in Instagram stories and stuff like that. But the way a notification looks when you get a DM on Instagram, or like just like it doesn't bother me in front of any other app, but with Instagram, it's just intimidating to me. You know when people like get like bullied or they're getting hate on the internet and people say, oh, they're just jealous, or you know, I was DMing Josh the other day, or yesterday actually, and I was talking to him about how nice he is, and he says, you know, people shouldn't be mean. If they are, then just remember they're unhappy. So, you know, that's not something that you say to someone. Well, no, like, that's not something you would say to the hater. That's just something that you think, you know? There was this person who commented a bunch of things, a bunch of hate comments on one of my covers. So if I commented back on one of his comments saying, well, you're just unhappy, like, what would I expect him to say back? Yeah, I am unhappy. That's why I called you in your cover wretched, because I'm unhappy. Like, he's not gonna say that. So what's the point of me what's the point of me going up to a bully, someone who's bullying me, and be like, well, you're just jealous? Because they're not gonna admit it. Even if, like, you know, if they are, if they're not gonna admit it. That's just something that you think. That's something you keep in your mind if somebody's giving you shit. You just think that. When people make fun of problematic fat people for being fat, if someone posted about me saying like, oh, well, Tiffany Rock's like fat and like being fat is disgusting, look at how fat she is, and then somebody else who's fat like saw that post and they got upset because they're fat and they're seeing someone call someone else fat, and it's like, oh, well, it's okay because they're problematic. But it's not. Make fun of problematic people for being problematic. Make fun of problematic people for the things that they've said or done, not for their looks, because people who look the same are gonna see that. The phrase, if the shoe fits, wear it, bothers me so much, but only in some cases. Like, when people are being anxious about, I don't know how to describe this without making it super specific, but like, for example, sometimes Austin from Water Parks will like tweet about muting people and tweet about how like when people, you know, cross his boundaries, he mutes them, he blocks them, whatever. And then people get anxious that he has them muted because they don't know if they've done something wrong or not. And then people, no, this hasn't happened, you know, this is just a fake scenario that I'm making up, but like people would be like, well, if the shoe fits, then wear it. He probably has you muted, kind of thing. And it's like, no, like sometimes people are just anxious about things that they shouldn't be anxious about. And that's why it's basically like being anxious, you know, because it
doesn't make any fucking sense.
Like, sometimes people are anxious about things that they shouldn't be anxious about. Telling them if the shoe fits, wear it is just gonna make them more anxious. I saw a TikTok a couple days ago that was like a mom telling her kid, I don't know how old this kid was, like somewhere between like 10 and 12 maybe, tells her kid, our Walmart is getting eclairs. And this kid just starts screaming. She's like, ah! And the mom's like, why are you screaming? And all the comments were making fun of this kid, and it's like, she's a kid. And her mom just told her something that she's definitely going to be excited about. Why are you making fun of her for behaving this way? I stitched the video when I saw it, and I used the example of if my mom told 13-year-old me that our local mall was getting a Hot Topic, yeah, I'd start screaming and getting all excited. That's just how kids work. They get excited and they have big movements and they scream. Like, why are you making fun of this behavior when it's just normal? Oh, this makes me mad. So when a group of friends is like posting a TikTok, everyone in the comments calls out one specific person more than the others and be like, oh, they're so pretty, oh, they killed it, they carried the video. When that one person is like a minority, or like they're, you know, a little bit bigger than the other two, or, you know, the others, I guess I should say. I don't know why I always default to 3, but that's what I think of. It feels almost obvious that they're calling out that person because they're different, because they're the odd one out, and nobody asked who carried the video, who did the best, you know? So it just rubs me the wrong way a little bit. At one of my first days of working at Five Below, I was working register, and I was just kind of standing there. I kind of had a resting face because nobody was at the register, and one of the higher ups, I think she was a manager, but I had no clue how the positions worked at that store, kind of says to me, don't look so scared. And honestly, that kind of made me feel bad, made me feel a little bit scared, because one, I was very new to this job. It was my first job, so I probably did feel a little bit scared in the moment, but I wasn't...
You what?
I wasn't trying... I wasn't trying to look scared. I wasn't trying to be scared, you know? I was just having a resting face. That's just my face. I think that's been happening since I was like a kid, because I just kind of remember people being like, oh, what's wrong? And it's like, oh, it's just my face. So I guess I just kind of have a resting, sad / scared face, and when people think I'm sad or scared, it bothers me, because sometimes I'm just not. I'm just resting. So I just remembered another thing that I completely forgot to mention is when I'm in the living room with my parents and we're watching something, like either TV or a movie, or we're just hanging out and I'm on my phone and I'm scrolling, and then I see something that makes me smile, and my mom's like, ooh, what are you smirking at? Like, wouldn't you like to know, weather boy? So this has been happening a couple times in my government class. When we're doing group work in school and we're sitting at our tables, and we're working with them, and unfortunately we were grouped alphabetically, so we didn't get to choose our seats. When the teacher gives very explicit directions and then the people at our table don't follow those directions, like he'll be like, oh, don't copy and paste from Google, use speaker notes in your slides, don't do a big wall of a paragraph, and then we start the assignment and they're like, oh, so we're just going to copy and paste from Google. Yeah, we could just copy and paste the paragraph, put it in the slide. We need notes? What do we need notes for? How hard is it to just follow the directions? It feels like you're doing the opposite of what the teacher's asking on purpose. I'm too socially awkward to tell them that they're not doing it right, but that could also impact my grade. If, for example, we're working on a presentation, that impacts my grade. But I don't want to tell them they're doing it wrong because they're gonna make fun of me because I'm vulnerable. So this one is kind of like two things, but they're like connected to each other. When people say stream band, like stream water parks, stream grayscale, you can't stream a band. So that just bothers me. And when bands have a self-titled album, it makes sense. It makes sense to say stream Cemetery Sun. It makes sense to say stream Girlfriends, because they have, well, Cemetery Sun I think is a self-titled EP, but still they both have self-titled pieces of work, so you can say that and it makes sense, but it shouldn't make sense. This one's stupid, but in Motown by Grayscale it says, now we're moving to our floor now. And I don't like that line because it says now twice. When people schedule things last minute or don't give me a time, like I just remembered a story, it was kind of around when I almost started working at Five Below. My boss would be like, I'll call you tomorrow. And then I had to sit around all day that next day for that call because I don't like talking on the phone. I would just want to get it over with. So I'd sit around, I would have nothing going on in my day. I would force myself to not do anything that entire day until that phone call, just so I was ready for it. Another time this happened was when I was doing my vocal lesson with Josh. Let me find the messages. He messages me, the lesson was for 5:30. He messages me at 3:39. Hey Tiffany, I actually have an opening in about a half an hour. Does that work? And it didn't. I had just gotten home from school. I had to eat dinner, so I was just a little tiny bit like stressed when that happened. We worked it out, obviously. It ended up being at 5:30 anyway, so everything went well, obviously. But in that moment, it stressed me out so much, especially since I was already stressed for the lesson itself. This one is stupid, but for the past month, I have been asking people on Twitter to get a video of Travis from Girlfriends, just like a quick video of him like saying hi to me or something, because I miss him. And lately I've been asking, since people haven't been able to find Girlfriends after the show, I've tried asking for Cemetery Sun too, and instead people were sending me videos of them performing, and it just bothered me, because it's like I don't know if I can show this because I don't want to use it without Sammy's permission, but Sammy got a video of Colin Patrick Walsh saying hi to her, and it was just, you know, a quick video of him saying like, hi, sorry you can't make it to this show, and that's all I wanted, but people were sending me videos of them performing instead, and that was just irritating me. I feel like someone's in front of my door. Is somebody in front of my door? There's this trend on TikTok right now that is so annoying. It's the intro to Somebody I Used to Know, but it's also just that nursery rhyme, ba ba black sheep or whatever, and they like start on their like this, and they're like, oh, what finger does it land on? Do 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 do, and it's like, why are you arguing about this? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. So the last thing I have on my list is when people argue about which streaming service is better. I don't care if you use Apple Music, I just prefer Spotify, and that's how everyone should act. Like, why does it matter? Why does it matter what other people are using? Just use what you want to use. So to make this video a bit more fun, I asked you guys things that you think make me angry or that I hate. I got 2 people to answer, but that's okay because Skylar is providing me with content here. When I get temporary banned on Twitter, yes, you're the only person who interacts with my tweets all the time. I miss it. When hair isn't purple. Yeah, when I dyed my hair and it turned out pink and it turned blonde in 2 days, that sucked. I like the blonde now, so I guess it's kind of bittersweet though. When I have COVID. That answers that question. Well, it's not a question, but you know what I mean. When I don't tell you I love you, by the way, I love you. I love you, Skylar. When I hope he misses you and listens just like I do. Skylar, are you trying to ruin my vocal cords? You know I can't sing right now. When I say, baby, take a back. When I say, baby, take... I'll get it eventually. When I say, baby, take a backseat. No, I don't hate that because those are the correct lyrics. But what I do hate is when you say, you're my baby, take the backseat. Because that is not the words. It is, come on, baby, take a backseat. When I'm scared of Josh from Funeral Moon. I like Funeral Moon, creative. But I actually had something on my list that I skipped because of this. I hate myself for this because I took the fact that Skylar is scared of Josh Jody. I took it too far. Like, why? Why did I take it so far? Like, it's not, it doesn't matter. She's scared of him. She shouldn't be scared of him, but I can't say anything at this point to make her not scared of him. She just has to have some sort of interaction with him to be convinced that he's not scary, but that might never happen. When Don't Bury Me in Violet. All I'm gonna say about this one is, Skylar, you're trying to kill me. I loved a girl named Madison. She liked to do her ion. When I hate Bad Love. This is another one that I had on my list but I skipped, is when people genuinely like don't like other people for not liking songs. I will say Bad Love is kind of important to me because it's like the first song that really got me hooked on Grayscale, but like, I'm not gonna not be friends with Skylar because she doesn't like it. It kind of upsets me a little bit, but what am I gonna do about it? She doesn't like the song, that's okay, I'll just listen to it myself. Yeah, this is the last one. Ann Thompson from the 8th grade 50s video history. I forgot that you were in my history class, Katie. I miss that. I miss when we were in the same classes. But now it's senior year and we are going to college soon, so we'll never be in the same class. So yeah, that's the end of this video. These are like actual things that make me angry, but I didn't want to make this video like super negative, so I hope that you thought this video was enjoyable. If you liked this video, like it and comment down below. Hit subscribe, share with your friends, all that crazy, cool, amazing, fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I never know how to end these things.